Yo, what's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel and to another video. I know it's been a long time since I've posted anything video wise on here, so apologies for that, but we're going to get straight into it today. And the idea is to share with you some techniques you can use with a new plugin that recently came out, which is this plugin you can see here. So this plugin is by a company called Eventide, as you can see, and it is free until the end of December, so go ahead and grab it while you can. It's a really cool plugin and it allows you to do some really cool things, which is what we're going to look at here. So let's get right into it. Here we go. So here I have this little idea which is going to be available in this month's Patreon for you guys who are on there for the higher tier. Actually, if you want all the stems and all the parts that are in here, I'm going to be putting that on the higher tier Patreon. For the rest of you, you can have the stems like the audio stems, so the beats, etc., plus many more samples that you get this month. Let's have a listen to this first of all and see what we've got. Cool, I think you get the idea. So it's just a little basic kind of dance floor style drum and bass tune. And this is kind of like a starter for you guys. So this is something I've put together just to kind of start you off with something dance floor type drum and bass style. So this is something you'll be able to find on the Patreon every month, different styles. This month is a dance floor one, and it's kind of a little template guide for you guys to show you a kind of couple of things you can do to create this style of music. But the focus here is on that plugin. So I'm going to open up this clip here, which is what you'll get if you are on the Patreon, and inside it you will find the beat, including all of the parts for it. In the basses as well, as you can see, you'll have all the presets here that are making this bass. Same thing goes for the riser, the lead, the atmospheres, etc., etc. All these bits will be there. So what we're looking at is how we can maybe add a few more sounds using this funky plugin. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the riser sound. This riser is a vital riser, and it just sounds on its own. It just sounds like this. Sorry, like this. So let's open up the Temperance plugin first of all and get that on here, and then let's select a preset, something like I'm going to go with Ghostly Callback, for example. This one has the key F, E, D. You could change the keys if you want to, just by, for example, if I click on that one, it goes away, and I click on this one, that one appears. I'm going to just use the keys that are here. First of all, we got our mix here. So what does it do with the mix like up here? So you can hear that tone in the background. If I turn the mix all the way up, what we're going to do is we're just going to end up with that particular tonality from this sound. So we get something like this. Okay, so now I get this sound. What I could do is then go ahead in here and then I can just very quickly bounce this, for example. So let's just highlight this and then press Shift and B, and then we'll press Enter, and then we'll get the bounce of this. One thing to mention about it is when you do this, you kind of get an offset, as you can see. So this has kind of pushed it, and you normally need to then bring this back in order to have it in the same place. So this, as you can see now, is in the right place. So you end up getting like some cool kind of musical vibes just from things like white noise. We could do this as well on another sound. So let's just get rid of that. And for the moment, let's get rid of this and let's come back up to the beat. And let's say what happens if we put it on the drums. So let's say, let's take maybe the ride sound here. And we got this ride. So if we now come and put the Temperance on here, we're going to get something that let's try a different preset this time, shall we? Let's go for like a piano verb, for example. We can try different presets. And we get something like that. So then we could go ahead once again, and then you could just take this and bounce this down, and you would end up with something like this, which we would then go here and take this off again, and we would then get this. Right, let's put it just as in here with the beat, solo the beat. Okay, so you get some quite nice little rhythmical things there. What I didn't do there, which I mentioned to you before, was move it back. Although actually it kind of, as you can see, it kind of plays itself in the right time anyway, because this comes in late. It just has a delay at the beginning normally, so I don't really need to do that. But you could also play with offsetting things as well to kind of create a sort of more rhythmical, percussive feel between your elements. And end up something like that. So that's another idea. You could obviously go and put more effects on this and play about with it. If you're not sure about the key when it's percussion, then you could go ahead and put something on it. Like, for example, you could go for a chroma. And then with this, we could then set that to F, which is the key of the track. And then we get something like this on it. It will sound like this. And then you'll know it's in key. So then if you played it with, like, for example, let's play it with the atmospheres and the beat, we get like. Okay, so you end up stuff like that. That's another idea of how you can use this plugin. Remember, it's free, guys. Pretty sick, right? For a free plugin, things you can do. What else could we do with it? Say, let's go to some other sort of sound and see what we can get out of another sound. Let's try it on one of the bass sounds. So here we've got a whole load of bass things. Let's put these together and we get like. Okay, so maybe go for the stab. That's all it is. But if we go and put a temperance on this, okay, and let's go with something like this one, for example. Let's move this along a bit here. This bit along the bottom plays with the frequency range as to what frequencies of this sound you play around with. So as this is quite sort of low, mid sort of bass, we're going to just move this around so we get not just the highs but the lows as well. And if I turn the mix all the way up, I'm going to end up with something like. So we've gone from to. So this is quite a musical sound. So what I do probably with this is I'd go and put this into maybe the atmosphere things. And we can turn that off and we can turn this on. And then we end up with something like. So we could go ahead and put something like this on, a Valhalla frequency echo. It's also a free plugin, guys. So go ahead and check this one out. It's also really cool, I have to say. Let's put this around here somewhere and get a delay like this. And you could also copy this here, for example, and then you could like reverse it into there. Something like this. You're going to get like. Okay, so you can see like some of the things you could do with it, some of the different ways you could use this on different sounds. We used it on a riser, we used it on a bass stab, we've used it on the percussion, and we're getting all sorts of little different ideas that we can add to a track. So if you're in the middle of making some kind of track, guys, go and download this free plugin, and instead of finding new samples, make some new samples yourself using this plugin in order to add them to add extra depth and interest to your tracks. So I hope you found this one useful, and until the next time I see you guys, take Take care of yourselves. Peace.